We are moving on to Tottenham against Newcastle. It's live on talkSPORT tomorrow, 12:30. Spurs earned just 5 points from a possible 21 in December. What a terrible month it was for them. By contrast, Newcastle had a December to remember. Absolutely sensational month for Eddie Howe and his team, and they were brilliant in that game on Monday night. They've won all of their last 5 games in all competitions. They scored 16 goals. They won the last 4 Premier League games without conceding. So Tottenham against a team 8 points above them, Ange Postecoglou getting into the territory where he really needs to start winning games, isn't he?
He has been for about 2 months, hasn't he? I was buying at one point, and the injuries was unfortunate. I think I said it last time, but when you play Van der Ven and Romero in that, was it the Chelsea game when he brought them in out of nowhere, I lost sympathy for him in that regard, because you could have waited a week and then had these guys back, but you pushed it trying to get them fit, and then obviously you lost them for another 5-6 weeks. Additionally, the goalkeeper is unfortunate that goes down, but I think where I've been a little bit disappointed, again, we're only a few days in, I expected them to have a lone goalie or even put one of the younger goalies in. Fraser obviously is a good guy, really good pro, but you ask him to play out from the back, he's causing anxiety and tension throughout the whole building. And then I've been a bit disappointed in their final third, in their attacking third, of what is where the goals coming from consistently. I think Son has been average this season by his standards. I think Solanke's been okay, but none of them have set the world alight. The best player for me throughout the course of this season has been Kulusevski. So there's a lot of pressure on Ange to start delivering very, very soon.
Bentancur suspended, Vicario out, Van der Ven doubtful, Richarlison hasn't played in the last 9, Romero's a major doubt, Davies is out, Odegaard is out, although he's teasing a return on his socials, Udogie is out as well. So they are depleted, but Newcastle without Cher, Pope, Kraft, Wilson, Botman is not on his way back yet. So, I mean, they've got, out of their back line, they've got their 2 first-choice central defenders missing this weekend, and no Nick Pope as well. So they're not in the greatest shape, although they've dealt with their absences better, I think.
Yeah, they have. I mean, it was 5 wins on the spin, 3 clean sheets in that time. I think they're a real potent force in attack with Isak and with Harvey Barnes when he comes off the bench. Anthony Gordon's playing really well. Tonali, I think, has been excellent for them over the course of the season.
It will shift into the 6th position when allowing Bruno Guimaraes.
There was a rumour that they were going to loan him back to Italy as well in January. That's gone.
Dismissed.
Yeah, that's gone.
I'm not sure there was ever too much there. His agent came out, didn't he, straight away and said that wouldn't be happening. So I think this is an opportunity for Newcastle. They're up to 5th in the table. They're very much part of the Champions League conversation. But you said it before when we were trying to pick out, bankers for the weekend. It would be just like Tottenham to dig a result out in this game.
Well, you can't predict a Tottenham result anyway, can you? Because it's just they'll let you down, or they'll completely surprise you by beating Manchester City. Newcastle's upturn in form actually has coincided with another player's upturn in performances. One you didn't mention there, and Jacob Murphy, who's got 3 goals and 4 assists in his last 5 league games. He's actually been speaking to our colleague Ollie Klink about the reason for his and the team's recent good form.
I think it was just patience on our side. I've said a lot that there had been a lot of noise when we were there or thereabouts with what in terms of principles and what we wanted to do and achieve in a game, and we were falling on the wrong side of the result. So it was about staying balanced. The league table and how that shaped up, that obviously doesn't paint the best picture, but also the picture that it was painting was super tight. So now that we've put a good run together, our position's looking a lot more healthy. So
in terms of you personally, you've been on fire recently. You've been scoring and creating goals. You've been nominated for Player of the Month as well. What would you put your own good form down to?
Just an elevation in the team's performance. I think because everybody's playing at a lot higher level now, we're naturally creating a lot more chances. I've been getting the ball in a lot more dangerous areas, and also because we've been heavily dominating games. It feels like it's attack after attack after attack. So I put it a lot down to our teammates. You know, we're really finding a groove, finding our style. So yeah.
There is another man who's been nominated for Player of the Month, Alexander Isak. Who do you think is going to get it, firstly?
I hope Alex gets it. I really do.
I'm sure he'd say the same about you there, Jacob, as well. But you've assisted him 4 times already this season. What do you think makes your relationship on the pitch so special at times?
He's just a really intelligent number 9. He knows the profile of his wingers. He knows my strengths. He knows where I like to receive the ball. He then knows what my actions are thereafter once I've received it. So, you know, yeah, he's super intelligent. He knows where he needs to be, and yeah, it's working at the moment.
How much of it is down to balance, having a right winger playing? Because up until his return, they were playing sometimes Gordon on that right-hand side. They were putting Harvey Barnes out there where they're not as comfortable as they are on the left-hand side. Murphy, very much that's his side.
I think there's balance throughout the whole team as well. There's a left back with a left foot. There's a right back with a right foot. That's not been what they've been able to do throughout a large part of the year. Higher up the pitch, they've got 2 wingers who are just incredibly direct, so fast. They know what they're doing. They're going to get at you, cause these teams problems. They've got someone who can score, and obviously at Isak. But I think the biggest thing for me is that midfield three with Tonali, Bruno and Joe Linton. They've got pace, power, and they've got enough guile on the ball to actually just keep it for a few minutes. A lot of teams now turning over the ball too much, giving it to these wide players on the counter-attack, and they're excellent. And he's been excellent since he's gone back in.
Yeah, he's been terrific. Alexander Isak, 5 goals against Tottenham. He's not scored more Premier League goals against any other side. When you are a striker and you're in good form like that, and you know you're coming up against a team which you always score
Your team,
against,
yeah.
Do you see? Yeah, I'm having myself today. I'm going to go for it.
Oh yeah, and he's got the confidence and the level of I wouldn't say arrogance. It's just before arrogance that he knows he's good. He knows he's the best. You see the finishes. The finish that got it for me, and Cook, you probably watched it. It was against Man United the other day, but it was offside. And he's hit the volley, and it just went straight in the top corner. And he didn't celebrate as if to go like, "Oh my God, that's a worldie." He celebrated like, "Yeah,
that's
job done." Yeah, that's what. And I was just like, "Oh, that's scary." And I've said it before. I know Mercy's trying to nick my takes now, but I think if Arsenal had him, they win the league. And I think they need to try and, if I'm Newcastle, do everything I can to keep him and build that squad around him.
What is the situation with him? Because he's not signed that contract yet, has he? And there's been a few sort of like people just sort of eyeing him up. 48 goals in 87 games. That is damn impressive.
Yeah, and even more impressive is his recent record. I think with both him and Bruno Guimaraes that there is ambition there to be playing regularly in the Champions League. Obviously, they've had a little taste of it with Newcastle. Didn't qualify last season. I think they're in with a terrific shout if they can get players fit and they can keep their key men on the pitch of doing it this season. I think if they did qualify for the Champions League, then that would certainly help their cause to try and keep those 2.
Certainly. Thomas Tuchel's going to be attending his first game as the England manager tomorrow. Tottenham Hotspur against Newcastle is live on talkSPORT, kicks off at 12:30. The England manager will be watching the likes of Dominic Solanke, James Maddison, Lewis Hall, Anthony Gordon, Tino Livramento. He's got a lot of players that he can keep tabs on.
Yeah, but he still hasn't told us what his plans are and what he plans to do. And
does he have to tell us yet? It's still 3 months before his first game.
We've been in position for 3 months, so it'd be nice to have a little bit of a chat.
Officially only started 2 days ago.
Okay. Well, then why was he in Switzerland then?
It's just popping along.
Oh, there you go. So anyway, I know you've got your FA
Only
hat
a little
on.
hop across the German
Yeah,
border,
he's got his FA hat on. He's trying to be nice. But my point is, I just want to know what is the plans under Thomas Tuchel? Yes, go and
win
watch
the World Cup. That's it. That's the plan.
No, I don't mean that. That's every England manager's remit. I mean, what style of play are you trying to do? What's our formation going to be? Who you trying to build the team around? These things he could just talk to us about. Whether he says an actual player's name, like a Jude Bellingham, for example, or I want to go younger, more attacking. This is how I want to do it. At least we can know.
So you want to know what the plan is. The strategy.
Yeah, just so we
to
can
win
start to
the
look
World Cup.
forward to something. And you go to these games and watching people. only you know what's going on. I think we deserve as media and as fans to know what to expect looking forward.
Do you think that he's been given handed a situation that has got plentiful talent, and he's going to have to really trim that down now? Because there's actually a lot of players that are in contention for this squad now that maybe you wouldn't have actually put on the list prior to the last window, where you've got other players that have been given their heads and actually have done very well.
Absolutely, I think it was Leif Davis was one as well. Was never really spoken about, but has seemed to do okay. Like I said, I think someone like him, I need to see a little bit more before I say he should be in an England shirt. But there's a lot of people that are in that conversation. But what are we looking for? Are we going to do the same old? It's got to be completely different, but we're going to try and get as many big names in there as we can. Or we're going to say, from this massive talent pool, I'm going to play 4-3-3 or whatever it might be. And this is what I want, and this is how you England.
I think you'll see more clear thinking from Tuchel, and he won't be afraid to leave some of those big names on the bench if he doesn't think they'll fit in.
We do this, a week before the first game? Or we're going to know before now and then?
Why do we need to know before then?
Because I think we deserve to know. We've got rid of Gareth Southgate, and it was miscommunicated. It was awful. Gareth Southgate since then has said he knew he was going to let go and all of those different things. That wasn't. You
want the vision sold to you before he gets there. Did he not sort of give you the vision when he sat down and did his first press conference when he was unveiled?
No. What did you take from it? That he's happy to have the job.
Yeah, and I think it was all about winning. It wasn't about building a culture. It was about just getting over the line and do whatever it takes to get that. And you can't really sort of sit there, I suppose, 6 months out and say this is who I'm going to play because you don't know who's going to be available.
No, but you
can't. At that time.
No, of course you can't. But you can say a player type. You can say a strategy of what you want to do.
So a style of play sold to you.
Just not even sold to me. Just tell me what it is.
Yeah.
I'll make my own mind up afterwards. But I think the fact that you wasn't working for whatever reason, I've heard different reasons as to why, that's fine, but you're now in work. Now it's a new year. Tell us what can we look forward to? I don't think that's too much to ask.
Well, Thomas, if you are listening, we are available Friday morning. We can reconvene on next Friday.
Mate, don't just do it for me. Do it for everyone.
I think sit down with Thomas next.
Do you not think everyone wants to know?
Time. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're open to going and seeing him.
You just speak to all your mates at the FA and sort it out. If anyone can make it happen, it's you.
Yeah.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.